Since I started to learn football in the academy, I started to dream about playing one day in a big club in the world. If you want to be a big player one day, if you want to be a professional, you have to play in Europe, and you have to, make yourself proud and as well your family.
Proud? You can be Yaya. Predestined for glory from an early age, the Ivorian has risen through the ranks over the years to become one of the most complete midfielders in the world over the past decade. A raw talent who has collected titles throughout his career and contributed to the success of his national team. Beyond that, he will have inscribed his name in the pantheon of the most competitive league in the world, the Premier League. From the streets of Abidjan to the greatest European football pitches, let's take a look at the prodigious career of the big guy, the Rock, Yaya Touré. Subscribe to Megafoot, the best of football in video. Yaya Touré was born on the 13th of May 1983 in Bouaké, Ivory Coast. He made his debut with his brother Kolo Touré and his friends in the streets of Abidjan. Talented, the kid was then spotted in 1996 by the former French player Jean-Marc Guillou. Yaya Touré did not know it yet, but Guillou was busy training young Ivorian players at his academy, ASEC Mimosas. Under French eyes, the young prodigy is trained, developed, and learns about the sacrifices that must be made to become a professional footballer with the club's junior teams. In 2001, it was the big leap. The coach invested in the Belgian club Beveren and took Yaya Touré with him. There, the man who dreamed of being a striker during his youth stayed for 2 seasons. A position that he will occupy on the occasion of a test for Arsenal. Convincing Yaya Touré was then very close to joining Arsène Wenger. However, the difficulties he encountered in obtaining a work permit were too much for him. The Ivorian finally signed for modest Ukrainian club Metalurg Donetsk, an adventure that allowed him to be selected for the Elephants for the first time. But no matter, in 2005 Yaya Touré gave a new boost to his career. He joined Rivaldo's Olympiacos and at the same time discovered the Champions League. Although the Greek club had a very average campaign, the midfielder showed his power and technique on the ball. With his atypical profile, it is said that he could become the new Patrick Vieira. The Gunners are once again on the lookout, but this time they're not alone. Manchester, Chelsea, Arsenal, Milan and Lyon are all after him. In the end, it was AC Monaco who won the jackpot for €5.5 million. The proximity to his brother Ibrahim, who plays for Nice, and his desire not to rush into anything were important factors in the player's choice. However, his arrival in League One in the summer of 2006 was a very quiet one. Yaya had barely turned 22 and was barely on the pitch under his coach Laszlo Belloni. At the time, he was struggling in the league, and Belloni's ousting in favour of Laurent Banaid was a godsend for the Ivorian. Over the weeks, he became one of the symbols of Monaco's revival. Monaco eventually finished in the bottom half of the table, but for Yaya Touré, the main thing was elsewhere. The sirens of the big European teams reappeared. In particular, FC Barcelona, who managed to sign him for around €10 million. Just 1 year after his arrival in France, Yaya Touré was only 24 years old at the time, but was already discovering his 5th country. In Spain, it's now time for confirmation. His coach, Frank Rijkaard, aware that his player is sometimes a little disorganized on the pitch, is taking it upon himself to refine his tactical skills. The first Ivorian in history to pull on a Blaugrana shirt. He moved from a free position to a relay role in front of the defense. His transformation to the highest level in the world is underway. It will be even more so under guidance of Pep Guardiola. Yaya Touré is becoming a defensive midfielder feared for his impressive volume of play. However, although he's gradually filling up his trophy cabinet, notably with the historic raid on Barcelona in 2009, the role he occupies in front of the defense no longer suits him. The emergence of Sergio Busquets as a sentinel even relegated him to central defense at times, if not to the bench. Confirmed to a partial role and in bad terms with his coach, Yaya Touré decided to leave. In 2010, he signed for Manchester City in exchange for €32 million, joining his older brother Kolo. Under Manuel Pellegrini's guidance, the man who was given the number 42 completed his transformation. It's simple. He considerably raised his level of play and became the archetypal box-to-box midfielder in the Premier League. His defensive qualities acquired at Barcelona are still present, but Yaya Touré's position in the Citizen three-man midfield has given him a more offensive orientation. He has become one of the key men in his team, if not their providential man, and the 2013-14 season will even be one of surprises. Repositioned behind the striker, the Sky Blues vice-captain transformed himself by chipping in and providing his teammates with a wealth of goals. And although the seasons that followed were statistically less prolific, Yaya Touré remained Man City's true focal point over the years. And this, despite the arrival in 2016 of Pep Guardiola, with whom relations have always been tumultuous. He made a brief return to Olympiacos before signing for Chinese club Qingdao Huangdai in 2019, but Touré will always be a Manchester legend no matter what anyone says. A man who has greatly contributed to making this club one of the strongest in modern European football. It is this recognition that Yaya Touré has not necessarily always enjoyed throughout his career. When Xavi, Iniesta, Xabi Alonso or Pirlo were regularly cited by journalists or the general public as the best midfielder in the world, he was too often forgotten. The player himself is fully aware of it.
Do you think you're recognised correctly in the world game?
To be honest with you, I can say not enough.
With the Barca and Spain precedents in mind, smaller players who are supposed to be skillful and technical are now given more importance than larger players who are only judged on their physiques. However, the International Federation of Football History and Statistics recently named him one of the top 10 playmakers of the last decade, proving that the Ivorian has made his mark. It must also be said that his record speaks for itself. Double Spanish champion, double English champion, Champions League winner, winner of the African Cup of Nations, 3 World Cups played. The 4-time African Ballon d'Or has nothing to envy anyone and can legitimately say that he has written his name in the history of world football. For beyond the collective or individual distinctions, his range and versatility are rare. And whether we like it or not, Yaya Touré was for a long time the prototype of the modern footballer. At Barcelona, he blended seamlessly into the Catalan team to stand up to the products of the Masio and show that he was more than just an excellent retriever. In Manchester, his contribution in midfield and his ability to project forward made him a household name. Fast, technical, skillful with both feet in passing the ball and in front of the goal, and effective with his heading. The man nicknamed the Tiger was quite simply the perfect midfielder. A player that every coach would dream of having in his squad. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, don't hesitate to talk about our channel around you, to like it and to share it. See you soon for a new video. Ciao.